I'm going to talk a little bit about the DriSteam RO 400 series and why that might be important to you as an engineer and architect. There's a few different things that I like to point out about DriSteam's product lines, and this might be true for a majority of the product lines, but it is also true for an RO system. The brains of the system, being the VaporLogic controller, has the ability to connect into building automation systems, whether that's through BACnet, Ethernet, LonTalk, or Modbus type protocols. So this gives great flexibility on the front end for how does that building management system work. Beyond that, the RO system will manage itself accordingly based on a level control input. It doesn't matter if it's a pressurized transducer, if it's a pressure switch, or if it's a level float switch. Depending on the type of applications you're working with and the volumes you want in your storage tank, there's utmost flexibility, all done within the same controller, so there isn't need to connect a level controller to an RO system and power a relay. It can be quite beneficial from a design perspective and a contractor and operation perspective. Next thing that I like to think about that's kind of a nice value add feature for the marketplace is the slide out membrane racks that are on the RO system. So for easy change out, obviously as an engineer you're not changing these things out, but your customer might have added benefit from this maintenance focal point that makes it easier versus getting over the top. As it relates to the engineering and design of it though, one of the benefits of pull-out racks is we don't need as much top entry access for the maintenance. So if you wanted to put something in a very short height area, that's something that this is capable to do without having to unbolt every membrane housing. We can just slide it off the rack. Another feature that is included as a basis for us on the RO 400 is the permeate tubing and the concentrate tubing and the inlet tubings, all color coded to make it easy for tracing and understanding of how that system works and how it should operate. Getting back to the controller, the TDS output is something that we can do via this. And that TDS is on the permeate side to give you your product water quality and tell you how well that system's performing and give updates that way. Another feature that is built into these RO systems is we choose to use low energy membranes here at DriSteam. For a majority of applications, RO permeate through low energy membranes is sufficient for most process needs, including humidification. One of the things that allows us to do is to either A, have more flexibility on the pump discharge pressure and have more wiggle room in how we throttle that pump back, or if you're working with a very low temperature water, we have the capability to meet the capacity needs that we rate on our brochures. The alternative to that in the marketplace is either A, thermal mixing valves, which is very energy inefficient, or getting a larger system and derating that system. We don't have that challenge with using low energy membranes and sizing at 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Another nice feature to the RO 400 series is the permeate divert feature. This is something that we recently added based on customer feedback that allows for that initial spike of TDS in your permeate stream to be diverted to drain versus going to your product tank. It dilutes over time, but again, as we look about quality and quality of water coming out of our systems, that's a key design feature that we have included. We know that water quality can vary, not only from site to site, as you're working with many clients as an engineer. Even at the same site, water quality might change over time. One of the features built in to not skimp on an expense is concentrate, recycle, and concentrate to drain valves and rotometers or flow meters to allow some flexibility in that design. What that does is provides a way to balance out that water chemistry and that water temperature as it relates to solubility and increase or decrease your recovery in that unit. This helps with the field install and how things are at site setup versus design point. Two features, although not often utilized, that may be beneficial to your customer is there's two features within the VaporLogic that can be used. First one is a pre-treatment interlock. So if you don't have redundancy on your pretreatment, meaning softener or dechlorinator or a backwashing filtration system, you can interlock that communication back to the VaporLogic controller and it will know not to turn on the RO even if there is a demand. This will help prevent nuisance alarms when the RO doesn't get water and says low inlet pressure and cycles through that. The second feature I mentioned is related to leak detection. Another feature that is beneficial to customers that are prone to leak sensitivity. And if there's not curb design or a sloping drain for that system, if a leak were to occur, the board is capable of receiving a contacting input to the board, notifying leak detection. That would then communicate outwards to your building automation system if you wish, and turn off the unit and prevent it from running to cause further leaking. The last point I want to make is some design features that are related to safety. Of course, there's the typical low inlet pressure switch, high pressure turn off that are included in most commercial units. One of the things that we did is allow for inactivity flushes, just like our humidifier series. After a default of 72 hours, it flushes the system to remove stagnant water, allowing for a more hygienic solution for the customer.